While you sit there rotting in your own self-worthlessness, I want you to realize something. That you are and will always be a social reject, clown, loser, but there's hope. Click the link in the description and motivate yourself by watching somebody that's clearly better than you.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
Oh, wow. These last couple days on Twitter, oh my god, unbelievable. Some people, just want to act and pretend that certain things through history did not happen, and that certain words are perfectly acceptable within today's modern society, but we all know that's not right. We all know that's not true. And you know how I know that I know? And you know how I know how everybody else knows? Because you wouldn't go to your job and use those words at that job. Now, be my guest. If anybody wants to go to their place of employment and wants to say and share racial slurs within their conversations at their place of employment, and you can continue to work there and keep your job, then by all means, I will admit that I was wrong. But until then, no, I'm not. So, we have a very fickle, hypocritical group of sensitive people here. Sensitive people that have the nerve to want to call people snowflake. These people couldn't lift up a baseball. They couldn't put a basketball into a bucket. And yet, they want to call people a snowflake. See, they're all about, they want to be able to say whatever they want to say, no matter how offensive it is, no matter how immoral it is, no matter how full of hate said word can be. They want to be able to say whatever they want. No repercussions, no recourse, no consequence. Fine, okay, whatever. You say what you want to say, and I'll say what I want to say. But apparently, while we're allowed to spread racial slurs and use them casually like they have no meaning, we are not allowed to make fun of somebody else's physical appearance. Because God forbid somebody be so insecure that they can't handle what somebody else over the internet says about their physical appearance and their looks. Yes, that's right. Racism, racial slurs, that's okay. But hey, when it comes to my looks, oh no. Don't talk about that, Black Bond. We're gonna have to flag you, Black Bond. We're gonna have to censor you, Black Bond. Oh no, don't do that. You're breaking the rules, Black Bond. And that's what's hilarious about this. These people are waging a fictional war that's even more pathetic than the console war against SJWs about the right to be able to say whatever they want, but the second you criticize the way they look, oh wait, their whole morals and justification and grounds to do what they do just goes up in poof, smoke.
As you know, this is an impossibly complicated issue, and I do not pretend for 1 second to have the answer to it, because again, this is just, when I speak, one white guy's view of the N-word. Not for 1 second on this show have I ever pretended to know or to understand what it's like to be black in this country. So I want to be very specific about that. My view. Now, my view is this is the most despicable word in the history of the English language. And I can't speak it. I can barely think about it, as I wrote in the column. And yet, Stephen A., I want you to know, as my friend and my cohort here on this show, that I do respect and appreciate, and I think I understand how the black community took a hate word, the original N-word, spoken with the hard ER on the end, by whites to blacks. They took that word and they defanged it. They drained the poison out of it and they turned it into a love word that is spoken ending in A. And it's spoken with affection by a black person to a black person. Get it, appreciate it, but as a white guy, even when I hear that, Stephen A. Smith, I can't quite get comfortable with it because I know too much about the origin of that word. There's too much shame for me attached to that word because that word got black people in this country raped, molested, tortured, hanged, murdered. You know the history. At least I hope our audience knows the history of that word. And that's why it's just verbal evil to me. I wish that we all, of all colors, we could just eliminate the word. I wish there were a better word that black people could speak to black people that would show affection and that we're all in this together. I can't take it when I hear Riley Cooper still go virtually unpunished for speaking the N-word with the hard ER on the end of it, plural, at a country concert, and get away with that. Just tore my heart out. I can't take it when I hear that black players in the Dolphins locker room allowed Richie Incognito to even say it, maybe with the A on the end of it, like we're all in this together, you're one of us, you're an honorary black guy. I don't think Richie's an honorary anything, but that's just me. But I just can't get comfortable with prolonging the life of that word. It's as simple as that for me. And I have personal stories that would take way too long to tell, but you know how I feel about this, and I'm very interested to hear your response.
So what I did this morning, Skip, on the way here, is picked up the phone and called Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who I've known for many, many years, and I consider a friend. And it harkened me back to another paragraph in your article where he says, all of us in the black community do not agree with the use of that word as a term of endearment, which is what I just said. He said, but that is our right to disagree amongst ourselves. That is where he and I are totally on the same page. And that is where my frustration elevates to anger. Because let me be very, very clear. We talk about the iniquities, the nefariousness, the wickedness involved with the N-word. Understand, it's not the word alone that was nefarious and wicked. It was the actions associated with it. Somebody didn't sit there and use the N-word and elect to hang us because of the word. They wanted to hang us. They wanted to brutalize us. They wanted to torture us. They wanted to kill us. They wanted to do all of these things. That was just a word that came with it. That, and loosely, I might add. When have black people done that to one another while using that word? Again, it's not a justification. I want Mr. Wooten to understand. I totally agree with them because the world that we live in and what has transpired, okay, and the way that word has been taken and all of a sudden it's wicked, period. And it doesn't highlight the iniquities of one segment of our society who disenfranchised and tortured and minimized another segment of our society. Now we've generalized it. How that has happened, I don't understand. I don't get that. I understand and appreciate you. I understand and appreciate the many great people that work here at ESPN. I understand and appreciate the people that I've listened to on ESPN radio and Sirius XM radio and beyond. I get that. I'm not questioning anybody's intent. What I'm saying is, think about what folks are saying here. A word so wicked, no, so nefarious, so negative, that came associated with some of the most heinous things we've ever known in the history of this nation, if not this world, somehow, some way, has been lumped into a bowl where black folks amongst themselves off the airwaves in the privacy of their own communication with one another. Now we have to monitor how we choose to communicate with one another because you all on the outside, whose ancestors inflicted such damage upon us, now get to tell us how we're supposed to talk? I mean, come on now. That's a bigger issue. Because to me, what you're trying to do is you're trying to lump it all in one bowl. You're trying to act as if us talking amongst ourselves is the same as you or the community that you're from, considering history. It's the same usage. It's the same intent. Come on now. But it is not a cause or a rationale or a reason for people to then turn around and say, oh, y'all should have never used it in the first place. How are you, the villain, going to look at victims and tell us how we're supposed to deal with something that was inflicted upon us and feel like you got a right to say that to us with a straight face? There's something wrong with that. And that's all I'm asking. A generation, decades have been going on. We found a way to offset and minimize the meaning of that word to affect us in such a vicious manner amongst ourselves. Right, wrong, or otherwise, it's what we did for us to help us through a time that we didn't ask for, that was inflicted upon us. And now you're going to come along and act like it's the same thing? If we're talking amongst ourselves, even privately, oh, you people are irresponsible, oh, you wrong. Really? That's what we're doing now?